I started following Peter Schiff around the time of Brexit, and he was recording a lot of videos around that time, almost every night. And when the opening theme would come up, after a while it started to sound like the Peter Shit Show. And because what he was talking about really did sound like a shit show, I started to nickname his podcast the Peter Shit Show. I went home to my family, and one night at dinner time I turned on one of his podcasts, and he goes bum 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 bum, and I shouted the Peter Shit Show, and my dad was really upset. He thought it was some kind of, my brother was 16 years old at the time, and my dad thought the show was some kind of sexual humor or some really not appropriate topic for my brother. And then I explained to him it was a financial shit show, and he became very upset because he said that we didn't invite Peter Shit to come ruin Thanksgiving dinner, and he asked me to turn it off. I really liked that show so much that I decided to adopt that theme. At first, I wanted to call my channel the Peter Shit Show. Now, my middle name just happens to be Peter, and some of the stuff I talk about is pretty shitty as well, right? Single bias, toxicity at work, among other things, right? Long COVID, now that I'm dealing with it. And so I really wanted to call my show the Peter Shit Show. I named it the Peter Shit Show for a number of months, if I remember correctly, but I got a ton of dislikes, and it became really comical to log on and see how many dislikes I had. And I got into, part of the reason I really like the dislike gesture is that in the past I used to get into road rage from giving people the middle finger, and lately I've been using the dislike finger a lot more. And so I thought maybe instead of calling myself the Peter Shit Show, I could call myself the Peter Dislike Show. And that's where we are today. And I really like that theme. Now, the other reason I really like dislikes is that, as you guys have been following my videos, I've been investing in a lot of strategic metals, right? Bismuth, tellurium, indium, and lately even zinc, right? And so part of the reason those metals are so much cheaper than the precious metals is not because they're not rare, but because society dislikes them so much, right? And so I think that's very fitting for my channel as well. Now, when I die, I want my tombstone to be made of a metal that is so heavily disliked by our society, right? So one of my favorite measures is to take the price of the metal and multiply it by the supply, see what the market cap of that metal is. So when I die, I want whatever metal that has the lowest market cap to be made into a dislike figure to use on my tombstone, right? Today it would be bismuth, but I suspect 100 years later it could be gold, right? Because we have to be wise at some point, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.